do you think you're doing around here eyeing up my Majora's man? Hey everyone, Zian over here from Nintendo Life. And guess what I did last weekend? I went to a retro video game swap meet. And you know me. You know I have lots and lots of video games. I collect all sorts of video games of all kinds. Nintendo platforms, Sega, PlayStation. Don't tell anybody. Shh. But I love video games, and I love having physical versions of them. And I actually used to vend at retro conventions at the game store that I used to work at. I used to go to the Midwest Gaming Classic every single year. I think I went like 5 or 6 years in a row. And it was always I was always so exhausted by the end of the day. But I loved going to that and meeting people and chatting with them in person and buying games and trading with other people and finding things that I was missing from my collection or finding a box or a manual or something like that. You know, I love the human connection of being able to talk with people in person about video games. And finally, after 2 years, I think it's been maybe 3 years since I've been to like a retro event like that, finally I got to go to one. And now this event that I went to was actually located in Portland, Oregon in the United States. This was put on by, I believe, a store called SideQuest Games and also the Portland Retro Game Show. They also, they worked together with SideQuest Games to put on this event. And there were maybe 30, maybe there were 50 different vendors there. I'm not sure. It was a lot though. And there were people all over the place selling a range of different goods from retro games, modern games. There were plushies, old vintage collectibles, toys. There were people even had old video game posters that were stored in or that were used in retail spaces. There were, Japanese imports. There was all sorts of cool stuff there. I don't think there were some arcade games there too. I don't think there were any for sale. So maybe that was the only thing that they really didn't have. But realistically, if you went in there with a mission to get something, you might not have paid the exact price you wanted, because that's the thing with conventions is sometimes you pay a lot, sometimes you get a deal. It just depends on the booth and the person and the time of day and all that. For example, I went in there trying to trade my Sega Nomad because I love it. It's super nice condition and stuff, but I just never play it. I was trying to trade this for a copy of Earthbound, and obviously I still have the Sega Nomad, so I did not get a copy of Earthbound. But I did find 3 or 4 different people there selling copies of Earthbound, and it was just crazy to see that many copies under one roof. But so what I wanted to do today is I bought a lot of stuff. I went in with a budget, and I stayed pretty restrained. But I bought a lot of stuff, and I can always just post about it on Twitter, on our community tab or something like that. But I thought it'd be fun to show off everything that I got instead. Please do not run away after you see the first thing that I bought. I can explain, I swear. So Sonic and the Black Knight, I've heard nothing but terrible things about. I've never played it myself, but this game has always just kind of been on my list because it's so weird. As a kid, kind of some of the same feelings Alex has, or even other kids just would have had towards Shadow the Hedgehog back in the day. I've kind of always had those same feelings towards this game because swords are cool and Sonic is awesome. And if you look at the back of the box, we have Knuckles has dual blades. Of course there's Shadow, and he's holding his sword backwards because that's cool. But I also only paid $5 for this game, and it normally goes for 10 or 15. So that was sick. I was so glad to get that off my list. So one of the things that I'm most excited about though that I got was this boxed copy of Killer Instinct. Now I already have the cartridge here, so getting a second copy of the game was a bit annoying, but this was only $40 for this. And I think a complete in box copy normally goes for $100. And the cool thing was that I already actually had the manual here at home because I've been wanting to get a complete in box copy of this game for a while. And I had the Nintendo Power offer slip because yes, I am one of those people that loves to have every single part of a game if I care about it. And the reason, I'm not even that big of a Killer Instinct fan, but I do just love Rare and Rareware in general. So I've actually been trying to make it a mission to complete every single Rare game that was ever developed for a Nintendo platform. And I still have a long ways to go, but I have most of the N64 stuff complete now. I'm doing okay on Super Nintendo. NES, I don't have anything. I might just ignore NES entirely besides Battletoads. That would be great to have. But some of the NES stuff is expensive, and I don't have as much personal attachment. But I've got a bunch of the Game Boy games, It's Mr. Pants. I have that on Game Boy Advance. And as you can probably tell, I love trying to complete games. So I actually found both of these from another vendor. Somebody was selling these, I think it was $8 and $6, but I ended up offering them 10 instead for the both, and they took it, which was great because I don't own Bravely Default and I don't own Persona Q, but I did actually at home here. I had this empty box for Persona Q on 3DS, so now I have the box and the like outer box, but now I'm missing the game and the tarot cards. So that's gonna be fun to try to put together eventually. And then we'll actually come back to this Bravely Default thing later because I do have a cool resolution for what happened with this as well. And then I ended up finding somebody that was selling a copy of Pokemon Channel for $50. It was like, ugh, kind of a little bit too much for me. Like this might be the most expensive thing I bought at the entire event. But I actually ended up trading the vendor that had this a game that got me $30. So I only paid $20 for this. But the cool thing was my personal copy did not have the manual, and this was complete with everything except for the e-reader cards. Took the manual, put it in my copy, and then I already had the box art for mine, so my buddy Zach does not have the box art, so I'm giving the box art to him, and he already has the e-reader cards as well, so now I have like a loose disc copy of Pokemon Channel that I'm just gonna try to trade at the next event or whatever. And now I have a complete copy. My buddy Zach's, his is almost complete, and it's sick. And then yeah, here's the e-reader cards too that this version didn't have, but now I get to put this in mine. It can be a lot of work like piecing things together, but it's just so much more fun, way more like gratifying. So I did some more walking around. I ended up finding another manual for my buddy Zach, and I also got this Magical Tetris Challenge manual for $2 because I just bought this game maybe just a few weeks ago or a few months ago, and I was like, $2, sure, I'll take that. That's cool. It's cute. I also then found a complete, like an unopened amiibo of Lucas from Mother 3 or Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, or just, I guess this was actually just the Super Smash Bros. Release. I completely forgot about that. And yeah, I do already have one up there, but Mother and Earthbound merchandise just never gets made in the US. And so I felt just like inclined to have a version of this that was still sealed so I could put it on the shelf and just kind of treasure it, because it's so cool to see something that, like, this might actually, now I think about it, this might be the only official piece of licensed merchandise here in the US that contains Lucas, anything Mother 3 related. Please correct me in the comments if I'm wrong about that. Please let me know. So at this point, I felt like I had already made my entire, I'd made a full lap of the event. I was chatting with my friend Mike that was there, and Nick, and I was having a good time. And I guess I did buy a few other things as gifts, but I won't share those in this video because they're gifts. But I felt like I was trying to kind of like ball in a budget at this event, and I had my trade stuff, and most people didn't want to trade early in the event. So I did some more laps, and I tried to make some more deals, and I was looking at my list of games, and I realized I didn't own this. I somehow, I've never really had interest in playing this game, but it is a first-party Nintendo title, and someday I want to at least explore it to see why Nintendo thought that this was a great first-party Nintendo launch title. The person had this for $4, and I offered them $2 because somebody else had one sealed at the event for $4. And I was like, maybe they'll be cool and they'll take $2. And they countered back with $3, so I got it for $3. But now I have Steel Diver. Woo, Mom, aren't you so proud? But then I ran into this other vendor that was so incredibly nice. I think I took a few pictures of his booth, so I'll post those up here so you can take a look. But at the back of his display, he actually had this cool Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages and Seasons kind of sign. And so I asked him about what it was and how much it was, and he was charging like an astronomical amount of money. And I understand, because marketing materials are just most of them got thrown out, so they're really rare, and these that he had were almost brand new. But he let me take pictures of them, and what they were like a Oracle of Ages and Seasons signs that kind of had these tabs that you would fold out on the back. It almost looked like the back of a Christmas box, I think, if I remember correctly. But they were in just perfect shape, and it was so cool because you never see Oracle of Ages and Seasons stuff anywhere either. He had a copy of NES Remix Pack, which is one of the last remaining Wii U games that I've wanted for my collection. And he had this for $30, which was a little higher than what it could have been maybe. But he took a look at all my trades, and I ended up trading him one game that I had that was worth about $15, and he gave me $15 towards this, which honestly, I feel I understand most of these vendors are in this business to make a living, and they're here to they have to make a profit at the end of the day. But it was so cool that this person, because I don't know if he wanted this game for himself or for one of his kids or for for a friend or to sell himself or whatever. But it was just so nice that he offered to just give me the full value of what I got. Oftentimes when trading with people at events, they're usually giving you like half of what it's worth, or maybe 75%, or maybe even 25. It depends on the items, you know. But I feel like you're not often getting the full value because they need to make their money, and that makes sense. But thanks for being cool. But then I actually ended up chatting with another vendor there that had been to Japan like here and there. He was telling me, and he had some like really random stuff. It was really cool. Like he had a full sealed case of Ninja Gaiden 3 Razor's Edge, I think it was called, on Wii U. And like just a full case. It was like $200, and it was so random. Like I wish if I had a disposable income, I would buy that and like just give away copies. But he also had some of the Hobonichi Mother notebooks, and I think he was telling me that these had released in 2017, and he bought them and like never had the heart to write in them. But those are really cool. I took pictures of those. And then he also had these Club Sega ashtrays. And I'm not a smoker. I don't condone smoking, okay? What I'm going to use this for is probably, I'm probably gonna put like some coins in it, which is what like a lot of arcade owners do, like with like random like gaming ashtrays like this, is they'll put like a bunch of tokens in it for their arcade cabinets or whatever. And I've heard that people would do that same exact thing at arcades as well. But I think this might just be a replica. I can't tell if it's legit or not, because I did some Googling and saw that there are people that sell replicas out there. And this doesn't have any like Club Sega branding. There's no trademark logos, no nothing on it at all. Just the Club Sega right there. Look at how good it looks already. Another thing that I got just like on a whim was I got a U-Draw tablet. And you might think that that's kind of weird, like what's the purpose of, why would I get this? But there's actually, like, I think I was watching Ant Dude did a video about, there's a SpongeBob game that you can get for the Wii that plays a lot like a WarioWare game. And it's exclusive to the U-Draw tablet on Wii. And I think they also made a 3DS version of the game too. But I've never played with one of these. And I was actually working at GameStop during the time when the U-Draw, like, and not really craze, but when the U-Draw tablets were coming out. And so I've always wanted to like mess around with one. And for a $1 that I paid for this, a whole $1, I figured it's gonna be pretty easy to find the U-Draw drawing game and probably SpongeBob and Dude's Big Adventure. It was in like a big box of just miscellaneous chords and stuff. And it had a like cardboard on it that's like $1 for everything in the bin. And I was like, hey, is this really $1? It's only $1? Okay, I'll take it. So yeah, so I'm now the proud-ish owner of a U-Draw tablet. I also did make a kind of cool trade with somebody there. I brought some really just like weird stuff whenever I'm going thrifting and I find a deal on something, you know, I pick it up and maybe I can trade something with somebody else later down the road or trade online or whatever. I ended up trading another Game Boy Advance game for Klonoa Empire of Dreams on Game Boy Advance. And I actually have like incredibly, like maybe not the most in-depth memories of this, but I remember playing this on my pink Game Boy Advance, my fuchsia colored Game Boy Advance. And I was with my grandma and grandpa, and we had gone out to a restaurant. It was like an Italian restaurant in my hometown. And I just remember playing this at the table and playing it in the car, and I had a lot of fun with it. And I don't remember why I guess I probably just got rid of it to get some other games or something, you know. But I'm so glad to have this back, especially now that the Klonoa remakes are coming out on Switch of Klonoa 1 and 2. I feel like these games are going to be like even harder to find, because I think these are available to play on the Wii U Virtual Console, like through, you know, the Game Boy Advance Virtual Console, but this is like an expensive game now. It's crazy. Now that was about everything that I got at the event, but since I was in Portland for the day and I had the car to myself and everything, I thought, you know, I'll go visit a few other places, or at least, you know, somewhere else. So I went to this store called Video Game Wizards, and I'd only been there once before, but the last time I was there, they gave me really good trade value on everything that I brought in. And they had an incredible selection of stuff. There were just so many games in there. It was was jaw-dropping. So I took a bunch of stuff in there that I didn't trade at the event, but they were super busy there. There were a bunch of customers coming in trying to make big trades and stuff. So I ended up leaving, and I ended up going and hanging out with my friend Brendan, who had I'd never actually gotten to meet him in person before. So that was super cool. And also, if you're watching this video, which you might be, hello. And so we went and hung out and walked around for a little bit, and I came back to the store, and the employee there had all my trades set up and everything. And they were closing soon, so I had to rush, but I ended up leaving with a bunch of cool Nintendo stuff. I ended up picking up Harvest Moon DS Grand Bazaar, which at one point in my life, I had almost all the Harvest Moon games, and I've been trying very hard to get them all back again. But so I ended up picking this up because I already had the box and manual for it. So I got to complete that. I was very stoked about that. I think I have all the Harvest Moon DS games now. I also ended up picking up Dragon Quest Swords, which was complete in box. This, I ended up, I rented this back in the day and thought it was pretty awful, but I've always been curious to go back and give it another shot. I also got House of the Dead Overkill, which I've never actually played this. I think from a video that John did, maybe it was somebody else now I think about it. I think it was John, but somebody was telling me that the frames really tend to drop in this game and that the PlayStation 3 version is a bit better, but I just love the way that light gun games play on the Wii, and so I definitely wanted to get a copy of this. I also remember that Bravely Default case earlier that I was telling you about that I got, right? Got this for $5 at the event. It's got the manual and everything, the Club Nintendo code. I actually ended up getting a loose copy of the game at Video Game Wizards. So now I have a complete in-box copy of Bravely Default. So now that one's done too. But then a few weeks ago, I also went out video game hunting with my friend Mike, and I ended up finding a Super Scope. Unfortunately, this does not have the scope. The battery compartment, though, was super clean. I was really happy about that. And I've been wanting one of these for a while because spoiler alert, I want to do a video on Super Scope stuff. And because I've never really played any of the games. I wasn't friends with anybody that owned one back in the day. And I've seen the games on the shelf over and over again, like Tin Star and Metal Combat, I think, and Battle Clash and the Super Scope 6 game. Yoshi's Safari is even another one. And I've always wanted to play those games, but I've just never been able to. And so, unfortunately, though, you need to have an adapter. There's a sensor that you plug into the Super Nintendo in order to play these games on the Super Nintendo, because it doesn't just... It's wireless, and it's not hooked up to the... It doesn't use the same exact technology that the NES Zapper uses. For the past few weeks, I've been looking online, been checking local stores, and nothing. And finally, Video Game Wizards had a big drawer of Super Nintendo stuff. And they dug through it, and I got a Super Scope adapter, sensor, whatever you want to call it. This was only $10 as well. Oh, weird. I never realized that there were two things, that there's the one here and the one here. I just always thought it was this. Huh. I wonder how that works. Oh, and then I also went to a GameStop afterwards, and I met the kindest employees ever. I really think I won't show off the stuff I got at GameStop because it was all PlayStation 4 stuff, but I just want to say that GameStops, some of them are awful. But the ones that have cool employees that really just treat you like humans, those are the reasons that I go into GameStop. And they were just so kind and very straightforward with me. Shout out to all the cool GameStop employees out there. I appreciate you. Now that was everything that I got that day, but I actually do have two more things that I want to share with you that I just got in the mail. This first thing came courtesy of Nintendo. This is a project, oh, I said it already again. This is a triangle strategy press kit, basically. This was just a gift that they sent out to, I think they sent it to some influencers or some brand ambassadors, but they also sent it to some press as well. So they sent us this big box. And we don't have there's not a copy of the game in here. It's not even that crazy of a package, really. But I think it's cool the effort that they still put into this. So the box, I'll show that off because I feel like when I was a kid, by the way, I don't know if anybody remembers, but and if you do, please drop it in the comments below. There was a Fossil Fighters press kit that I remember watching a video of or reading about in Nintendo Power or in a magazine or something, where it was a rock and it came with a hammer and you had to break the rock, but then inside of the rock was a copy of Fossil Fighters on DS. And I thought I just loved press kits. Are always so neat because companies put so much effort and into them, and you know we don't always see merchandise get made up for every single game, and it's really neat when companies really take the time and effort to make something cool like this to celebrate the game or the launch or the And so yeah, I love the effort that went into this. So the box here, it's kind of like it's like a shoe box, I guess is kind of what it reminds me of, with this like slip cover thing. But it has artwork of all of the characters. Well, maybe not all of them, but a lot of the characters from the game. And it also came with this this character card set, which I believe was also a GameStop pre-order bonus. But inside here, which actually like there's like some cool like kind of rainbow. I don't know what that is. There's just like some paint on the inside that makes the inside look kind of cool. But it came with a full set of these character cards, and I actually posted pictures of this on our like on our community tab and like on Twitter and Facebook and Instagram as well, so you can go check out the pictures there if you want. But yeah, it came with a full set of these character cards, and then it also came with a sheet of paper telling us, oh, this is they called this the Tabletop RPG Mailer. There was also a 6-sided die in here that has I think it's just like a bunch of symbols from the game. A 6-sided Scales of Convictions die, is what they call it. But then the coolest thing, the thing that they really put like the most effort into, I feel, is this game board. So this is like, so this doesn't really like function as like a game. This is not, it's not like this didn't come with a game to play with or anything. Basically what we have here is like, it's a game style board, but it is like fully like all of the like the rivers or whatever, or they're not even rivers, I guess. I don't know what these are, but they're kind of like raised up off the board, and you can even see like certain parts, like actually the rivers here, now that I see, are kind of like a glossy like paint, and it's just so pretty. Gosh, I wonder if I could find a frame for this. This is beautiful. I actually like haven't like held it up like this, like, and really like taken a good look at it. That's sweet. And it looks really good on camera too. Like you're really, this is how it looks. But yeah, so I think the idea was like maybe they wanted people to feel inspired to like create their own like dungeon, like DM game with this board, and then they use the die. I think a 20-sided die would make more sense for an RPG. Maybe trying to like put cool images on a 20-sided die wouldn't really make as much sense. Here they have, you know, they have all these cool logos and stuff etched in it, but this is sweet. I think it's really cool. And then I also got this other box in the mail today. This I was warned about. I was told that a box like this would come in, but I actually have no idea what is in here. So we're going to find out together for the very first time. This is from Sega and Atlas. This is you can already see. It's a Persona 4 Arena Ultimax press kit as well. Oh man, look at how cool that is. That's so sick. Oh, sweet. Okay, so this is it's a big box to promote the brand new re-release Persona 4 Ultimax, the fighting game by Arc System Works, the people that made like Guilty Gear and BlazBlue. And but it's all Persona 4, and there's some Persona 3 characters in this game too. I'm gonna let you take a look at this before I even get through. How's that sound? Ooh, wow, Xeon, look at it. You're gonna love that. Oh boy. And, oh, there's a pillow in here. Oh, it's not a Dakimakuru. Labris? I think maybe Labris is her name. I can't remember exactly. There's the shadow version and the regular version. There's a lot of stuff in here. Oh my gosh. Is this a pair of sunglasses? Okay, I'm gonna look at this first. Okay, I got it. Oh, is this a bag? It's Kanji, but this is like that's like him from Persona Q, I think. Kanji's from Persona 4 originally. And it says, I love stupid cute stuff. Don't look at that. And then it's got Persona 4 Ultimax on the other side. That's pretty sweet. I like that. Little nice tote bag. I think this is a pair of... I just realized I've never played Persona 4, but I just remembered that glasses are a big deal in Persona 4. I think characters, I don't remember exactly what it is, but is this a pair of, oh, it is! It's like a pair of potentially reading glasses that are like Persona 4 styled. Oh no, look at that. Oh, that's sick. They're not the best quality at all, but they get the job done. Oh, and they say Atlas and Sega on the side. That's so silly. All right, what if I put these on? Am I gonna jump into the TV realm? Is that gonna happen? Okay, nothing has actually changed. That's good. I still feel the same. This is so cool. There's a little teddy on there. Oh hey, and there's a teddy keychain. This is nice. This is like a boxing medal. Or like if I won an event in middle school, I would get this on like a string, but instead it's a keychain. Like look at this weird little creepy teddy. You see him? You see him creeping? He's like, hey man, you want to pull me out of here? No teddy. Oh, I think I know what these are. No, I don't. Wait, yeah, I do. Are these socks? These teddy socks? Is it one? Oh no. Oh no. They look awful. Like I really don't like socks that like do the full body print thing. But because it's teddy, I think there's like some charm to them. So there's also, oh cool! I love rubber keychains so much. Seriously, I put them on my cameras. I put them on my keys. I put them on everything, on my backpack. That's so cool. Yeah, it's just a little teddy. Oh, Persona 4 Golden keychain. Cool. It's not even like it's not Persona 4 Ultimax branded. 86th. I feel like I've heard of that brand before, but I don't know who they are. Ooh, did you see the front here as well? How it's kind of got like the lineup of characters. I don't think it has everybody because I don't see Yu Narukami. I mean, he's on the front, obvi, but thanks, Atlas. Well, that was a lot of stuff, and this video ended up being way longer than I expected. I hope you enjoyed checking out my retro haul from the retro gaming event. It was just so cool to like be at an event in person again, like I said, and trade with people and talk about video games. I wore my Mother 3 shirt there, and tons of people were like, hey, cool shirt. And it was so nice to see that just kind of love and support, and yeah, I had a great time. Let me know in the comments down below if you've been itching to get back to an event like that, or if you still buy retro games. And of course, let us know if you enjoyed this video. If you would like to see me kind of, because I mean, you know, I'm always buying retro stuff. If you would love to see me kind of hoard it all into a pile like every 2 months and then do a big unboxing video or something like this, you know, leave it in the comments, tag me on Twitter and share this video or something, or just, you know, let us know that you want to see more weird videos like this where I just talk about stuff, because it's a lot of fun. I really like it. Another thing you can do though to show your support, just very much like Teddy does all the time, is you can jump into that TV and click that subscribe button and then ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we put up a new video. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you, Labris, for being here, if that's even your name. I'm Zion from Nintendo Life. Stay safe out there, and we will see you all next time.